All right, guys. So today I want to talk a little bit about agents. Agents are something that I have invested in the past, and they're something that I've covered a lot in the past. Actually, they're something that I don't really invest in that much anymore, and they're not necessarily my favorite investments anymore, or necessarily where I would recommend people to be putting their money in the markets, like first and foremost, or anything like that. But the agent market has been pretty interesting and pretty crazy over like the past couple of weeks, and there's actually been some big changes. Even one of the biggest changes being the fact that Miami Daryl has kind of fallen off. He's not the top dog anymore. So we're going to be talking about all of that and much more in this video today. But of course, first, just want to mention my cash trading business. I have it pulled up somewhere. If you guys are looking to sell any of your CS2 items, turn them into cold hard cash, crypto, or any other payment method, definitely hit me up over on Twitter. It's going to be that first link in the description below. We like to buy anything and everything for the right price, but of course, you guys know we like to get those big deals done. So if you're looking to sell any expensive skins, knives, gloves, bolt cases, maybe cash out your entire inventory, whatever, hit me up and we can get a deal done. We can get you cashed out safely, effectively, and efficiently. With that being said, let's get right into this video today. Of course, the elephant in the room right now is this video looks different. It's a different setup, whatever. I'm on vacation, so please don't mind the scuff setup too much, but the show must go on. We're trying to still get the videos and content out to you guys. I'm just so used to making videos at this point. I love talking about the stuff. I love looking at the stuff, so I still want to try and get out some videos here and there when I have some free time. And I thought this was a really, really interesting thing to talk about because I saw this tweet from Ross CSGO where he said Getaway Sally has overtaken Sir Bloody Miami Daryl as the most expensive agent in CS2 on both the Steam community market and third-party marketplaces. So we can take a look at this. And obviously, I don't know like the direct RMB to dollars conversion ratios or anything like that. But this is actually a pretty big difference here between Getaway Sally at 877 and 806 on some of the Chinese marketplaces and stuff like that. And then obviously we can see over on Steam the difference being 148 others in euros to 137 euros between Getaway Sally and Miami Daryl there. And I know, like I said, for the longest time, Miami Daryl has been kind of the most iconic, the most popular, one of the coolest and best looking agents. He's got like the gold watch, he's got the colorful stuff going on. He's been expensive. He's been kind of that agent you use to flex and show off, how expensive an agent you have and all that good stuff. But we can see now here that in the past 6 months, or actually just the past 6 months, or this year, we're 6 months into 2025. Throughout the past 6 months, Miami Daryl, his price is actually down around 10% to $147. This is in terms of Steam prices. Obviously, third-party marketplace are going to be a little bit cheaper. But 2025 has not been that kind to Miami Daryl, and obviously that has allowed him to get passed up by Getaway Sally for that top spot because she has been absolutely on fire to start this year with a 37.96% gain. Now, again, this is why I don't necessarily love agents in terms of investing. We'll take a look at more agents here in a second, and there's definitely money to be made with agents. Getaway Sally's up 37% in the past year, but you don't really ever know which agent is going to like have the most explosive month, or the kind of overall demand for certain agents comes and goes kind of really quickly. It's like you have an agent of the month, you got that flavor of the month, you have people get excited about certain things and they don't care about certain things, and certain ones get like manipulated, and there's a lot of different things going on. Also, I don't necessarily like about the fact agents, that they're non-consumable. I really do like investing in consumable stuff that has decreasing supply overall. Yes, agents do have kind of a stable supply, and it's a finite supply, and that's why we've seen agent prices increasing over time, because we've seen the CS2 player base increasing over time. You have a finite agent amount, you have an increasing player base, obviously kind of the whole price are going to go up. But you are also at the very big risk, and this is kind of the main thing that keeps me away from agent investing right now. Honestly, not only the fact that agent prices have gone pretty crazy, so they're getting kind of more and more expensive, also the fact that they're non-consumable, which definitely keeps me away from them, but also the fact that they could be coming to the armory at some point, or just new agents coming at some point in CS2, because we actually haven't gotten any new agents yet in CS2. And then you want to talk about the flavor of the month, you want to talk about the different fads, the best agents, the worst agents, the mid-tier agents, whatever. It's going to shake all things up, and right now, Getaway Sally, Miami Daryl, the other Daryls, Number K, they're the kind of the coolest, but what if the new set of agents in CS2 is just way cooler and all those jump down a tier? You could definitely see their prices, maybe stabilize, maybe crash, maybe still continue to go up over time, but it's just a big question mark. And then even on the low end, some of the low end agents have been going up because same thing, as the player base increases and you have a finite agent supply, the floor is going to raise as well. But what if we get a ton of new agents and the supply over floods and kind of prices start to crash down? There's definitely a big thing here. But I did think it was very, very interesting that, like I said, Getaway Sally has had a very strong start to the year, has passed up Miami Daryl in terms of the most expensive agent. $155 for her on Steam right now. You can see $147 for Miami Daryl on Steam. some of the other more popular agents, more interesting agents, stuff like that in terms of prices. You have number K, always one of my favorites. Again, he's not the highest rarity tier, and that's definitely something that holds him back. So supply is going to be a little bit bigger on the number K, and I think that is what kind of keeps his price down. But he is so unique. He's so different. I don't think there's ever any risk of Valve releasing some kind of new agent that's really going to fill the same niche as number K or compete with number K or anything like that. So I think overall he's one of the safer investments. 21.63% gain so far into 2025. And again, all these numbers are great. The Sally having like a 37% gain in 6 months, number K having 21% gains in 6 months. I know in CS we always want to go for like doubling our money, tripling our money, 5x our money, whatever. But honestly, at the end of the day, if you can consistently get 20% on your money over the course of 6 months, that is very, very, very insane. But there have been better, obviously, CS2 investments start the year, and there are just kind of better things out there. So I do think if you specialize in agents and agents are really your thing, and you are really tapped into the agent market, and you know which agents are kind of overvalued and which agents are undervalued and which agents people are going to start using more. And even if you get really good at I know there's a bunch of people who are really big in like the agent crafts with the patches and being able to find undervalued patch combinations and being experts on stuff like that. There's definitely money to be made in agents. And if you want agents to be your main thing and to specialize, I think that's great. I think that's fine. I think you definitely can make money. But if you're not somebody who really is passionate about agents or really loves agents, or you're not super tapped into the agent thing, there's probably going to be better, easier, safer ways to make money in the CS2 economy and in CS2 investing. That doesn't mean that you should not invest in agents, or that I don't think you can make money investing in agents. Because I personally have made money investing in agents previously. There was times where I thought the agents were really undervalued, and the fact that we haven't gotten any new agents in CS2 just yet, that's definitely helping push these prices higher. But again, the longer and longer we go without new agents coming to CS2, I think the risk does increase, and also the higher prices get, I think the risk reward ratio also doesn't become as attractive either. But number K doing pretty good to start the year. We have this D Squadron Officer NZSAS, absolutely insane. He's just kind of ripping up in price, 81.63%. This is one of the ones that doesn't necessarily make sense to me. I don't know if this is one of the ones that gives you the competitive advantage because he's all kind of dark and kind of blend in a black space or whatever. I don't really know, but this is crazy. We're going to look at why this is maybe even crazier here in a second, because we do have this tweet where Johannesburg CS tweeted out just a little $90 difference for a slightly different colorway and an NZ flag on the arm. And again, you can see here we have the D Squadron that I'm showing you right now, the NZ SAS for $101 on CS Float. And then you have the B Squadron SAS, again, for $11 on CS Float. So it's literally 10x the price for red eyes and the New Zealand flag versus the green eyes and the British flag. I don't know. Why is this agent 10 times the price? I don't understand it. I don't really know enough about agents to explain to you guys why that is. Very crazy, very weird to me. But yeah, this one is one that's had some pretty volatile price movements in the past, and it continues to go absolutely insane. 81% gains to start the year, looking very good there. We have the loudmouth Daryl. Again, Daryl's for whatever reason not doing that great to start the year. This one's down 7%. Still over $100 on Steam, $109, but down 7%. So I don't know if the market just isn't kind to the Daryls right now, if they're not in trend, if people just aren't really rocking with them or whatever, but we've now seen two kind of the more expensive Daryl agents going down. We do have the Goggles Fernandez, another very, very popular agent, pretty much flat so far in 2025. We have the Elite Trapper Solman, which obviously we know is kind of being heavily manipulated right now with the Twitter campaigns and all the kind of weird whatever the heck is going on over on Twitter. This one up 84%, all the way up to $52 now. Even on the cheaper end, one of the cheapest, I think this is the cheapest agent in the game. You have the Soldier Phoenix. Again, like I said, as the CS2 player base increases, it is going to raise the overall floor. We're seeing this for kind of all items across the board in Counter-Strike 2 right now, but it's going to increase the price floor for agents as well. And then you go up to 27% gains to start the year. That thing's up to $5. Now, I actually do think the lower end agents can be a little bit more interesting because, again, how many people are really going to be spending $150 on a Miami Daryl, and how likely is it that Miami Daryl is going to be going from $150 to $300? I don't know, but you can see here the Soldier Phoenix, he can easily go from $3 to $4 to $5 to $6 to $7 to $8, something like that. But again, you do have the big risk of new agents coming out, and not only is that going to affect the top agents, I also think that's going to affect the bottom tier agents as well, because just a huge supply of new agents coming in. We see with the Armory just how many things can be redeemed, how many stars can be created, how many stars can be redeemed, all this stuff, and I think it could really push down, especially a lot of the cheaper agent prices, so definitely something to be careful of there. In the meantime, until new agents are released, I think a lot of these cheap agents are honestly pretty attractive investments, but I think there's just a lot of unknown, a lot of big risk, and enough to keep me away there. And again, at the end of of the day, like I said, I'm mainly a case investor. I think cases are the best fundamentals. I think cases are the best way to make money. And we just kind of showed what a lot of the best agents are doing right now. Some of them are flat, some of them are down to start the year, some of them are up as high as like 82% or something like that. But then you just have something casual like the Prism 2 case, one of my favorite cases, one of the best case investments in all of CS2. It's up 115% to start the year. So even some of the agents that are doing good, even some of the agents that seems like they have absolutely insane gains to start the year in 2025, still, you just got the Prism 2 case just kind of blowing it out the water. And this is the first case I pulled up, the first case I looked at. But I know there's a lot of cases that are up between like 70 and 120% in 2025. And that's even outperforming, the best agent gains that we've seen. I also thought this was interesting because I posted this video about around a year ago. This is 13 months ago, where I said I couldn't believe this for CS2 investing at the time. This is the fact that Getaway Sally was actually getting close to Miami Daryl. And I think even at certain points, Getaway Sally had passed Miami Daryl or came back down or whatever, but they were kind of going back and forth for a little bit. And now it's really, really interesting to see a year later that Getaway Sally is now kind of consistently passing up Miami Daryl in terms of price. We can also see here the different prices that we saw a year ago. This is May of 2024. We had not a single agent above $100. And now when you pull up Steam, we have 4 agents over $100. We have Loudmouth Daryl, D Squadron Officer, Miami Daryl, and Getaway Sally all over $100. So agents have definitely been increasing in price. We've definitely seen some price appreciation. There's definitely been some money to be made. But like I said, picking out which agents are going to have the biggest gains and which ones are going to have consistent gains, which ones are going to be going up and whatever, it does seem to be a little bit of a crapshoot and a little bit of a hard decision sometimes. And then again, even when you get something like Miami Daryl that seems like it's the best agent, it's got these crazy gains, it just keeps going up and up and up. Hey, all of a sudden it's kind of falling flat in 2025 and some other agents are kind of passing it up and seeing a lot better gains. So I don't know. Lots of interesting stuff going on in the agent market right now. Like I said, I'm still not necessarily going to be investing in agents or anything like that, but I do like to follow all the different item classes and follow the entire CS2 economy as a whole. And I thought it was pretty crazy that Miami Daryl got passed up, and I thought it was pretty crazy some of the other kind of agent gains and price movements and stuff that we're seeing in the markets right now. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.